via the Hicks Connection on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and join. I'm back here for my last broadcast, and this one is a more emotional and angry broadcast than the other two. I am still damn upset. I am still damned upset with this effing media, whether it be broadcast platforms on social platforms or social media, whether it be, well, the mass white mainstream press, which has always been and has never changed their complicit ways with this whole country's white supremacist attitude. The little, I don't know if we should call them little anymore because they're growing, but these Midas Touches and Aaron Parnasses and all of these other white controlled media outlets that are outraged at the president and his behavior, at the Epstein files and those documents that are being underreported or not being discovered or investigated, and more importantly, not being shown. The outrage that I'm hearing from every left progressive white media platform is still carrying the same garbage. The same garbage that got us here. The perspective of people of African descent and African people is still being minimized or totally omitted from this horrible situation and mess that we are in that is called the Trump administration. I have attempted to find every platform I can that might mention Keith Porter. Not one, but they all are in unity to provide us with the actions, intents, the craziness of this administration, every detail, every report, every Epstein file, every video, but still the same garbage continues. And that is the underreporting of black issues and perspectives. I am sick of them. All of them are continuing to call for going back to normal. All of them are continuing to purport their empathy for the people that have been injured by the ICE intrusions into our cities, continuing to report the incidents of the individuals who are taking part in protests and the atrocious behavior that is being brought upon them by ICE and Border Patrols and cops as well. But over the last month, and I've searched, folks, I'm trying to be fair. Over the last month, not one reporting on issues, perspectives that affect us. Doing what most of the American myth does, which is purporting this democracy, this equality, that has never existed. That is an American myth. But you would think with everything that is happening to them, that one reporter might look back and reference the history of African people and the same atrocious and atrocities that we have faced that they are now facing. Any college graduate from any journalist school knows that you must compare and contrast to give people a vivid demonstration of the imbalances of whatever it is, a topic that they're discussing. It is a primary thing that you do in journalistic schools. It is a part of reporting. It is a part of Journalist 101 in college. But still, folks, still black people, we are still getting the same mess. One of the things is this call for normalcy, this call to get things back in order, these calls that report atrocities without a relevance, atrocities to our white brothers and sisters that has no comparison to anything else in America. As if these things are new, and for us to, the country, I should say, to go back to the way it was before Trump. If there's anything that Trump is doing, and most of what he's doing is not good, but if there's anything that he is doing, he's giving these people a chance to view and to walk in the moccasins that we have walked in and have been for over 400, or I'll just keep 250 years. These folks, the Pretties and the others that were murdered, have faced the same exact thing that has been happening to African people in this country since its inception. The snatching out of the cars and beating you on the ground, the punching and the stomping, the kicking of women, children, elderly, the shooting and murdering with recklessness, with no due process or do anything in mitigating, I should say, mitigating those circumstances before they happen. None of this is being referred to or compared to our experience. It's this is why this country will never recover. I don't care who gets in office next. We will not recover from this because there's something this country refuses to do on every level. Political, socially, and economically, if economics can be included, and that is the denial of African people and their existence. How can you have outrage over treatment over one person, but not outrage over treatment, the same treatment that another person receives, and both are citizens of this country? Gays, lesbians, Hispanics, whites, all get attention. But the African, the black, still remains in an isolated form of no mas. It is incredible to me that they think that they're going to be able to solve this problem without unity. And unity involves us too, our perspectives on this issue, our relevance, our history and experiences should be used to say, as a nascent reporter, hey, I understand that African people went through the same thing and now we're experiencing it. No, you're not going to get that. I don't care where you go, folks, because I have done this for the last month. Hopefully, because I feel that many of these people reporting are good people, good white people, mostly white, but good people. But you cannot not criticize good people too. And they are engaged in the same behavior that got us here. The same behavior. The glue that sticks them to democracy. The pain that alienates them from conservatorship is all displayed. But the issue of black, of don't want to use the word abuse, but the issue of the black perspective is still silent and dead like a person in a casket in the grave. Folks, we better wise up before it's too late. We better wise up before it's too late. I think it is. I think there is no recovery for this country. And I tell you, if white folks don't understand that black people, not only do you think you're going anywhere without giving us an apology, that should be that should resonate throughout the nation in your platforms every single day. This country was built on the backs of slaves. This country had its startup money on the backs of slaves. This country has never admitted its racial supremacy, has never admitted, has never said I'm sorry, and is still in denial today based on what I'm seeing. It's horrible, folks, but it's going to teach them a lesson. They're going to learn because you can't do it without us. And forget us, you can't march towards justice without having some truth. Where is the truth? We know where the lies are, but where is the truth? Why is not, let me get the young lady's name. Why is this young lady's name not being reported? She was killed in an accident, but an accident that was a result of ICE chasing down, I know, an immigrant or someone that didn't get the full story. I will have it by tomorrow. I'm sorry not to be totally prepared like I am. But this woman was killed, a Georgia teacher. She was a teacher. She was coming home from work. And ICE had obviously engaged someone who took off in their car, and that person hit her and killed her. But this is not considered newsworthy. Just like Kevin Porter Jr. shooting and firing his gun on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, and an ICE agent who happened to live in the neighborhood, not even in his uniform, shot Kevin Porter and killed him. But you don't know about that. You do know about young black kids and brown kids rampaging through Bay Plaza if you're in New York. But you don't know anything about those people. But you do know Pretty and the young lady that was murdered in Minneapolis as well. Folks, you got to stop it. We have to say the names and report and recall our folks. Though we don't own the various media platforms as these folks do, because most of them have taken over the social media waves. I mean, I can name 15 different white-based media programs that are giving out good information. I'm not complaining about that. And I even feel somewhat kind of guilty because I garner information from their sites. But I've been waiting now for a month for them to report on this guy, Kevin Porter, or to report on the issue that ICE, how it relates to the black community, or how the Trump administration's treatment of their folks is similar. And just like black folks have been treated in this country, murdered, oppressed, hung. And the same thing is happening to them now. But they can't find a way to make any kind of comparison that the whole nation can listen to wake them up, to educate them on the history. It has to end, or we're never going to get out of this mess. This is what the Trumps of the world are depending on. Your silence on the black experience. Because there are no black people in the Epstein file doesn't mean that you can't give an explanation of the perspective and experiences, how it relates to what's going on today, because they're so simple. You don't need a journalist class 101 for this. But this only convinces us and me that this going back to normalcy. What was normalcy? Instead of a Pretty and these others getting shot, but the black kids in the community getting shot, maybe we're not getting shot up and killed so much now because it focuses on you guys. But order, going back to the way it was, we were underreported before Trump. We're underreported now, and whatever we're being reported is about something that is negative that we've done, or kids have done, or murder in our community. This order that you're looking to go back to is not good for us, because that means you go back to doing exactly what you was doing before for our communities, and that is underreporting, overreporting, propagandizing on our misery. So I'm sorry to get on with the anger, but I am, and this stuff must stop. If you want to save your country, white folks, you have to include everybody, and that means black people. It ain't gonna work no other way. Trust me. History repeats itself. I'm a historian. I've seen this animal before. I've read about it time and again. It never goes for nothing. Every country that enslaved us are a miserable country now. That includes Spain. That includes Italy, where they threw us out. That includes Britain. You can see what's going on in South Africa now. None of them had any good history after enslaving us. Look, do the history. Go and look at it. Look at the conditions of France now. Look at the conditions of Spain. Look at the conditions of the UK. They're all in trouble. If it's not birth rate declines, it's the fight because immigrants are in their country now. If it's not the MAGA right, it's someone who's on the left. No country that enslaved us, including the Arabs, who were our first enslavers. I don't even have to talk to you about what they're going through now. We are the chosen people. And all of you are finding that out right now.